Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is an update for the Project 100 uses, which means I got to 100 uses on a new palette. If you are new, please subscribe. I love shopping my stash, project panning. I'm on a no buy. I started this project based on Too Much Tosh's 100 Club. I pick all powder products, mostly face palettes and eyeshadow palettes. Try to get to 100 uses so that I can get good use out of these things that I know that I will probably never finish up, probably never hit pan on. So it's just kind of a way for me to rotate mostly through my palettes. I do this instead of a pan that palette or a pan those eyeshadows. Also, I'm wearing one of the palettes that I am talking about today. If you are interested, I filmed this look. It was a full face of neglected makeup that I haven't worn in a while. So I will link that in the cards and the description box, and let's get started. All right, let's start with the eyeshadow palette that I'm wearing. Like I said, I filmed this look. It was a get ready with me. This one I have used 16 times. It is the Sigma Warm Neutrals. And I had not used this in quite a while, so I pulled it out for that video today. And I love the look. It's very simple, but I love the Sigma formula, and I have several of their palettes in the Project 100 uses. I have gotten to 100 uses. I'm looking at my list on the Sigma Untamed. I think that was last year or earlier this year. I don't remember. But yes, lovely palette, and definitely need to use this one more. Here's a face palette. This one I have used quite a bit, and I am at 81 uses with the Charlotte Tilbury Nude Gasm palette. And I always say this for eyeshadow palettes and face palettes, if I just use one product, like one eyeshadow or one of these powders on one day, that counts as one use. If I were to put this whole palette on my face, that still just counts as one use. So yeah, 81 uses on this. I really enjoy this palette. I think it is lovely. I like all four shades. I love the highlighter, the blush, and these two like bronzer contour shades. So yeah, I'm doing pretty well on that one, and I'm happy. I'm, trying to get my money's worth. That's another thing with this project is owning a lot of makeup. I want to make sure I am getting good use on things. So I think this is a fun project. I'm really enjoying it. Next up is the Natasha Denona Biba palette, and this one I have used 65 times, and I definitely need to use this more. I haven't used it in a little while. I really, really love this palette, and these are very pigmented. So it's like, probably doesn't look like I've used it that much, but I have. And sometimes I just take like one of the darker shades and put that on the lower lash line. So, keeping it simple, but oh, the quality on this palette, it's so good. I really, really love it. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, another Natasha Denona palette is the My Dream, and this one I am at 43 uses on this one, and I love this one too. I mean, obviously in this project I'm putting a lot of favorites and higher end makeup because I want to get my money's worth, and yeah, I've gotten decent use on this palette. This one kind of looks more used than Biba, which is kind of funny, but I just think the shades are like a little messier, so they kind of get all over, and I think this black background, I don't know, who knows? But it's a good palette. I really, really love that one. I think I recently filmed a YouTube short with this a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure that I did. You can check that out if you want to see a look with this palette. Oh, and I did not say this. I do plan on adding new palettes in at the end of this video, and I'm going to do them in like a new randomized way. So this was kind of interesting because this, I already got to 100 uses on this like a year or two ago, and I put it back in to do another 100 uses. So that's the first time I've ever done that in this project. I've been doing this project pan for like 4 years. Um, this is the Natasha Denona Green Brown. And since I've put it back in the project, I've used it 11 times since then. Oh, I love this one. It's ridiculously expensive, but it is ridiculously good. I'm actually really glad that I own this palette. I kind of had some remorse over buying it at first. I was like, why did I buy that? It's so expensive. And I have the other one, the purple blue as well, which that one is in this project. I haven't used that one nearly as much as this one. So yeah, I am on round 2 and 11 uses for this one. All right, next up is the Bard palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. This one I have used 12 times, and gosh, these Fantasy Cosmetica palettes are so good. The shadows are so pigmented and the metallics are so foiled. It's really, really awesome. And then I have the other one from this brand as well, the Druid palette. And how many uses am I on this one? I'm at 10 uses on the Druid palette. And this one is awesome as well. This formula is amazing. These are such good eyeshadows. Like, I can't even. They are really, really good. I feel like I should film some YouTube shorts with these. Um, they are really, really good. So yeah, 12 and 10 uses on those. This one got added in at the last update, and I've only used it 4 times. This is the Beauty Bay Berries palette. It's a nice palette. I really like the Beauty Bay formula. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I bought several of their palettes at the beginning of the year when they had a really big sale going on. So yeah, I mean, I've only used this one 4 times ever. It's good. It is. I just haven't felt the urge to like reach for it a whole lot, but it's a good one for sure. All right, another one. This is the Sweet Indulgence, and this one I've only used 7 times. This is also one that was added in the last couple of months. This is from Sydney Grace. I love the Sydney Grace formula, and I'm so excited. I got my first PR from Sydney Grace. I could not believe it. I'm so excited. I did film a look with the Unbreakable Bond palette. That was a YouTube short. That palette is beautiful. I love their formula. So Sweet Indulgence. Love this one. It's amazing. All right, next up is the ColourPop by the Rosé, and I've used this one 12 times ever. And I do count the usage from when I first got the palette. If I added a palette in later, I kind of underestimate my usage a bit. But yeah, ColourPop by the Rosé. This is one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. I really, really love it. So yeah, this is a good one. It's stunning. And I did film a look with this one earlier this year. I did like a half drugstore, half high end. And I used this obviously for the half drugstore side. Awesome palette. And then Sigma New Mod. Oh, by the way, and I don't update on every palette each update. There are other palettes that are in this project. I just kind of pick and choose which ones I want to update on each time. So Sigma New Mod, how many times have I used this? Okay, 26. And I really love this one too. Like I said, I love this Sigma formula. It's really, really pretty. I've been using this shade a lot on the inner corner. That's what I'm wearing today as an inner corner highlight. It's stunning, purpley mauve tones, and yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so before I add in more palettes, let me show you the one that I got to 100 uses on, Natasha Denona Retro. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite palettes in my collection, so I'm really happy I've gotten good use on it, and you can definitely tell, I feel like it looks used. And I actually have pan, which like I said, I don't try to hit pan on eyeshadows. It just happened that I hit pan on this one. And you can see some like pretty big dips in some of these other shadows. This is such a good one. It is stunning. So now I have used this over 100 times, which is awesome. I'm so excited about that. And yeah, that's kind of why I put like my favorite palettes in here and more expensive ones because, I want to get my money's worth. So obviously, I'm going to keep using this palette. I'm just not going to count my usage anymore. It can get too tedious for me to count too much usage. It can be like a bit overwhelming. Like there's no way I could do that on all of my palettes. I think it would kind of take the fun out of it for me. But retro, it's amazing. And I'm really, really happy that I got some good use on this. Okay, so I want to add in some more palettes. And I did this similar thing for a members exclusive Get Ready With Me that I did last week. And so what I did was I was inspired by the Deck of Panning Project Pan, which I am doing that project and I love it. So I decided to take my cards. I'm going to pick 3 sets of cards. So first I want to pick just one card. And so if I get a face card, that is going to be 10. Ace is 1, and then the number cards are their numbers. So I'm going to just go through my palettes the way they're organized left to right and count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so first I'm going to pick 1, and then the next one I'm going to pick 2, and then add those numbers together, and then 3. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I think you'll get it as I do it. And obviously I'm not going to like count the palettes that are already in this project. Ooh, should I include palettes that I've already gotten to 100 uses on in my counting? Maybe. I think not. I think I'm not going to do that for this round. I've been kind of doing this where I randomly pick other things in this project in like a multitude of different ways this year. It's been kind of fun to add in some new palettes because for a while I wasn't adding in too many. So let me just shuffle this a bit more. All right, good enough. So let's just start with 1 this time. Ace, 1. Okay, so I guess the first palette in my array of palettes that I haven't had in this project. So we'll see. I'll pick the palettes afterwards. So this one, I'm going to pick 2 cards and add the number together. 8 and a jack. So that's a face card. So 18. All right, 1 and 18. And then for this one, I'm going to pick 3, add them together. 10. 3, so 13, and another 3. So 16. All right, I am going to find these palettes and I'll be back. All right, this was interesting. Okay, so number 1 was the palette that I had like over here on my stack of palettes. The first one that is not in this project, and that was the Nomad Royal Europe. I'm excited about this. So this palette is stunning. And I've only used it, I think 3 or 4 times ever. So this is a perfect one to add in here because I can easily count the usage. So I think I'm going to just start counting. We'll say 3 uses. I maybe used it 4 or 5. So we're just going to say 3 for this one. Pretty excited about that actually. All right, now the next one, this one may be harder to estimate. So the MAC Burgundy times 9. I really love this palette. This is one I have used quite a bit. I've had this palette for, I think, 3 years, and it's definitely one I've gotten decent use on. So I'm trying to guess, like, I've probably used this 30 or 40 times. This is something I've also had in my project 10 uses. It's obviously never been in this project though. So I was thinking, I don't know, let's underestimate and just start this at 20. We'll just say 20. That's, I know for sure, an underestimation, but I would rather do that. So gonna add that. And then the third one, I can't believe this goes picked, you guys. This Kaja stack. Oh my. Okay, so this is the Kaja stack in spiked ginger. This is gonna be very easy to count because I've only used this twice ever. I bought this at the beginning of the year before my no buys started, and I admit I kind of forgot about it. So kind of interesting that that's what randomly got picked into this project. So yeah, it's just 3 shadows, like a warm brown, a light one, a shimmery copper shade, and then a darker matte brown. Pretty simple, pretty simple. I mean, but these, I mean, I can easily use like the dark brown on the lower lash line a lot. And then the lighter matte shade, I could probably use that to blend out like a bunch of different shadows. So I kind of can't believe it. I was like, oh no, I really didn't want to get this, to be honest. I really didn't. But hey, this is kind of fun. It's kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone, pushing me into using something I've kind of forgotten about. So yeah, only used this twice, gonna add it into the project, but this was a fun update, and I'm so happy that I got to 100 uses on retro. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and I hope that you guys are having a great day. Let us know if you're doing this project. Like I said, I filmed this makeup look. You can check that out. I will link it, and have a wonderful day.